there's a lot of sensational Bionicle G2 sets. And there's a lot that people tend to forget about. Some unsung heroes, some underappreciated legends. So today, let's spotlight some of the underrated G2 sets. The sets that deserve more love. The number 5 underrated set today is none other than Storm Beast. Everyone loves your Lava Beast. He's so cool with his pretty colors, and you can say the same for Quake Beast. I mean, that purple, oh, it's nice. Storm Beast often gets swept under the rug, forgotten about. But there's so much to love. Like all of the marvelous dark blue CCBS armor. That is such a good color. It's a shame we never saw more elements in dark blue, but at least, hey, you get a solid amount on this set. And how about that play feature? Tilt the tail side by side, and the arms slash and claw at their enemies. Tilt the tail up and down, and the claws rise up, ready to strike. There's an impressive amount of movement in this play feature. He can roar at his enemies, strike them with claws, he can do it all. Great colors, an incredible play feature, and in general just a rather imposing overall design. And let's not forget, he includes this wonderful dual molded Kopaka mask. I don't think there's a single bad thing about this set. It's frickin' wonderful. The number 4 spot goes to the Protector of Stone. Okay, if Storm Beast is exciting for that dark blue, they're exciting for the dark orange. It's a color that did pop up in Bionicle G1, but we didn't really get a ton of pieces in that color. So it's so good that G2 was able to give us a ton more. Pair it with the pieces you get in Pahatu, and you get a really solid amount of pieces. How good is it that the color palette gets expanded and there's so many more opportunities for creating custom creations? But see, I'm a massive fan of the, art style of this set. It's the asymmetrical armor. Spikes on one side, big, bulky armor on the other. Something about it feels very ragtag. He's found spikes and bones from fallen creatures that were lost to the sands of the desert. And then he's had to find other sort of scraps and random metal that he's converted into makeshift armor. Just using whatever you can scrap together to make yourself stronger, to fight the threats of the desert. He's a bit more scrappy. See, this appearance, this aesthetic, it tells us something about the character. It paints a picture of where they live and the lifestyle that they have. It's harsh, it's difficult, but they make do. I think that's just so cool. Plus, I appreciate that the design style of any of the stone characters, well, it's notably different to what we see in G1 Bionicle. The Matoran, the Toa, they almost look nothing alike. And that's great. Bionicle G2 reinvents the world. It gives it its own new and exciting personality. I really appreciate that. If it was the exact same thing, it might be a bit boring. There's enough notes that feel similar to the original, but also vastly different and exciting. The Protector of Stone's weapon looks boss. The colors of the mask, sensational. This is good. Really good. I feel like all of the Protectors get a lot of love, and Nilku kinda gets forgotten. But he doesn't deserve it, because he's dang good. Number 3 belongs to one of the Uniter sets. It's Lewa Uniter. So yeah, there's a lot more silver on this design. Many of the Uniters featured much more silver or a lot more gold. And in general, a lot of the Uniters had a bit more of an intense design language. Really sharp, rigid, jagged textures, whether that's on the weapons or even on the masks. And sometimes this aesthetic gets criticized for being a bit too messy, a bit busy. And yeah, look, I can see it. But I think it just works on Lewa. And I think sometimes people can dismiss that. Now, why does it work? Well, something about these sharp, repeated lines. They feel agile and quick. It makes the character feel speedy, fast. And yes, in G2, Lewa's element is jungle, but he's still very much associated with air and speed. And I think this refined aesthetic fits that really well. All of the reasons that I think people dislike and dismiss the Uniters, well, it works on Lewa. And I just adore the arm and the leg design. Both of them use this very similar substructure, making use of some Skrull armor, Glottorian necks, and hand sockets. You didn't really see this design on any of the other Toa or Uniters, whatever you want to call them. So it's nice that Lewa had something a bit more distinct. And thankfully it gives him a ton of posability. And it's so good too that that Skrull armor in silver is front and center. You get to see it in all its glory. I love that piece. It's good to see it taking center stage, because there is something about the design language of this Skrull armor piece that pairs with everything else. There's some good consistent textures on this toy. I like it. There's just a lot that this set does right. And I think sometimes people will look at that at a first glance and think, it's too busy, it's boring, I don't like it. But the deeper you look, the better it gets. Up next, a set that's a bit of a favorite of mine. It's your boy, Ekimu. Specifically, the second version of the character. Now, I often feel like the smaller version gets a lot more appreciation and a lot more love. Understandable, this little tiny one is pretty cute. But we can't forget this guy. Now, maybe one reason that people don't talk about or showcase this set as much is because it is rare. This set did have a very limited release. A lot of parts of the world simply didn't get that final wave of G2. So people probably just don't own this set, and that's why it feels a little bit forgotten about. But look at him. All of that majestic translight blue. See, that's another thing that people don't like about Bionicle G2. It's often criticized for an oversaturation of translucent elements. And yes, sometimes I think that's true, but other times I think it looks great. It's like the character is made out of diamond or crystal. And given that he does have some kind of light powers, something about this look does reflect that quite nicely. A being of pure light. It's sick. And come on, the trans light blue recolor of that lovely mask of creation. Oh, it's so good. And it's also pretty cool that you can buy some additional bonus packs, and they let you enhance the set. Sure, you don't need them. The set still looks good without them. But a few little bonuses like this, it elevates it to another level. There's just so much about this set that feels legendary and special. And what's not to love about that? But alright, the number one spot. This underrated gem is Skull Basher. For years, I've seen those Skull villains get a ton of hate. People didn't really care for them that much, people didn't want them. Thankfully that's turning around. I think these days we're getting a lot more love and appreciation for these brilliant toys. So hey, maybe it's unfair to say that this is underrated today. And actually, I would wager that even if this is a little bit more popular and not as underrated as it could be, it deserves even more love than it gets. Because the play features and the visual style of this set rock. They're so freaking good. People should be singing the praises of this set even more than they currently do. Because check him out. All of that gorgeous purple. That sensational skull mask. He looks badass. But the play feature. Pressing down on this red button on the back, he can bash his axes together. Like he's doing some sort of freaky war chant, or taunting his enemies. And that's cool, that's a really original play feature. Most of the time play features are some sort of attack, never really a taunt like this. But if you don't press down on the button, simply sliding it side to side allows him to really bash his weapons around. Slice up his enemies, you know? And it's a pretty effective play feature. It's super fun to mess around with, it works flawlessly. It's freaking sick. The fact that you can use this in multiple ways. The fact that the movement is so fluid. It's breathtaking. I don't know if I'd call this the best play feature of any G2 set, but it's certainly up there. There's a pretty strong argument to be made that this is indeed the best. And God, I can't get over how cool he looks. A frickin' Minotaur skeleton? Yes, please. And that is 5 underrated Bionicle G2 sets. Sets that deserve more love. Are there any other characters you think should have been on this list? Do you agree with my choices? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now. Dude, I've been wanting a show like Maul Shadow Lord for ages. How freaking good is it?